Welcome back to Good Day Orlando. Co-signing with your partner could be costing you in more ways than one. A new survey by creditcards.com shows 1 in 6 American adults have co-signed for a loan or a credit card, and a large number of them have suffered fallout for doing so, whether it's financial or personal. It can really hurt you and it can really cost you. Certified Financial Planner Joe Bert joining us this morning to talk more about this. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Andrea.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I know that this is sort of some gray area for a lot of people, but first off, understand what you're getting into.
Well, first of all, if you had a 38% chance of something costing you money or 28% chance of messing up your credit, would you do it?
No.
And that's the national statistics of what happened to people who co-sign.
So, wow. So those are some pretty strong numbers.
Yes. So your first question was?
Okay. Understand what you're getting into.
Yeah. When you're co-signing, basically you are guaranteeing the debt. So if the co-signer, that your daughter or your son or whoever says, can you help me out? Will you co-sign here? Don't worry, I'll pay it. Don't worry about a thing. You are in fact liable, because if they don't do it, you are on the hook for it. So you got to recognize that, and it can mess up your credit.
That's true. And the other thing too is, before you sign those papers, understand, verify. Yes,
100%. You want to be sure that, in fact, that when they're making the payments, or if they miss the payments, I should say, that you're aware of it, because it will mess up your credit. You want to talk to the lender, whoever it is. You go to a car dealer or a bank or whatever it might be. Say, can I be on this, and be notified, or also get the monthly statements to know that it's being paid? Because if it's not being paid, it's going to impact your credit score.
Okay, so trust but verify.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, also realize there are not easy exit options when it comes to this, right?
No, because you've signed on it, and if the other person doesn't pay, the only option that you have is to pay it off yourself. In fact, I was just with a good friend of mine. He was telling me a story about a friend of his that's co-signed on a sailboat. Good friend of his, ran a little financial trouble, wanted to buy a sailboat. The guy's a great guy, but what happened is the guy had a heart attack on the boat. And the guy that co-signed on the loan is ultimately responsible for the loan. So you got to pay off the loan.
Holy cow.
So it can happen. Yeah, you have to be careful, because you are in fact liable at the end of the day.
Yeah, and not often do you think about some sort of life disaster affecting you.
And the way to really protect yourself is to get what's called credit life insurance. So just cover that, cover that period of time when the loan is out there, whatever the amount is. It's inexpensive, and if God forbid something happens to the person borrowing the money, it's paid off.
I guess it's kind of like gap insurance with the car, when it comes to the car, right? A little bit like that.
Exactly.
You also suggest exploring other options.
Well, this often comes in when particularly young people that want to get a credit card, co-signing the credit card. The better thing to do is give them a credit card in your name. Now, this way at least you know what's going on, and you can always shut that off. But if you give them a credit card on their own and you co-sign that you're going to guarantee what they do, in some cases you have no idea what's going on. So give them put them on your credit card, and this way you know what's going on. You may not like what's going on, but at least you know.
That's true. At least you're able to keep track.
Exactly.
What about going with a secured credit card?
Well, that's not a bad way to do it, because your obligation is only what you put into it. So it teaches young kids how to use credit. Yeah, not a bad way to go.
And when it comes to couples, I mean, you're co-signing for a home. That gets a little bit tricky. Any nugget of advice there?
Don't do it. Or, it's a risk.
Simply said, Joe.
It's a risk, and particularly in couples that aren't married, because you've got those kinds of circumstances, and it's happening more and more. It's happening more and more. You got to be very careful when it comes to money, because the decisions you make today, and you're doing something with somebody that you trust, and things are great today. They may not be great a week, a month, a year from now, and now you're on the hook for something you didn't plan on.
All right, great advice, Joe.
All right, good to see you, Andrea.
Where can people find you?
Just Google me, 2 words, Joe Bert, B-E-R-T.
Easy enough.
Thank you.
Joe,